The PHDJ Podcast with Mike Walter and Joe Bunn. Thursday mornings on DJNTV.
And then, so are we going to hear a voice in or
we
don't have
live.
any kind of pre-recorded intro?
You didn't hear it.
I'm not used to starting without a Tony T intro.
It was there. They heard
Jason,
it. You didn't.
You have to have a Tony T intro somewhere on your phone or something. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special live version of the PHDJ Podcast. Not only is it special because it is episode 100.
Yes, it is, sir.
Say hello, Joe.
Hello. Good morning.
How's everybody?
I'm great.
I asked everybody, but I looked at you. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
How was your
sir.
Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. We're talking about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, dude, we have not done a live or whatever podcast recorded for the next day in like 4 weeks.
That's true.
Because of your traveling, my traveling, everything, and then this traveling.
Thanksgiving. Let me think back for a minute.
It was only a week ago.
That's true.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah?
My mom and dad came to town for about 60 minutes tops.
Nice.
Then they promptly went to the beach. Didn't invite anybody.
Okay. Your George Bush looking dad?
Yes, George Bush looking ass dad. He came in hot. He ate lunch.
Yeah.
And then he dipped.
Cool.
My mother-in-law, she stayed.
Can you tell who wants to get on first? By the way, Nate is literally
in shades.
Nate's literally like 5 feet off camera. Nate Nelson wants to get on. He's taking a nap. Right.
And then they went to the beach, and then my mother-in-law lingered for days.
All right.
Let's hear about Mexico and your super.
So
hot
yeah,
wife.
we had a very unique Thanksgiving. Kelly and I were on a cruise, and we basically had grilled octopus on the beach in Cabo for Thanksgiving.
Topless.
And not only that, we were strolling down the beach and we saw like the sports bar, and Kelly said, "Aren't the Cowboys playing today? Why don't we?" And I got to see the second half of the Cowboy game. And I swear to God, that was Kelly's suggestion. I never would have been like, "Honey, let's go watch the end of the Cowboys game." But it was pretty badass. So,
and
yeah,
did they win that game?
They did. We beat the Redskins, so we're in first place in the division. So if the world ends now, the Cowboys are in the playoffs. There's that. I got that going for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are at DJ Collective.
Do you want to just give a quick?
Which is something I was not invited to last year, and I was insanely jealous about that fact. I didn't even know about it. Joe hid the whole thing from me last year.
I'd low-keyed
We pre-recorded a week, and I think you said to me like, "I'm doing something next week," and then I see all these pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm like, "You could have just told me about it." So I did. I had the same emotion that other people have when Think Tank happens and they're not invited to it. They were like, all the cool kids club. So then when Brian invited me this year, it really was not a convenient week because I was on vacation last week and I don't like to be away. But I was like, well, I can't say no because then I'll never get invited back.
True.
So the only reason I'm here, but you need to answer a controversy that Chris Romero let me in on. Is it true that the only reason you let me be here is because last year you were the oldest attendee and you didn't want to be the oldest attendee?
No.
Is that true?
No. Negative.
Chris, come on up, Chris. Refute that. Chris Romero the other night over dinner said to me that you actually made it an issue last year. Go ahead. Chris Romero, everybody from New Mexico. Lean in so you can get on.
I did not say this.
You did say that.
That is
Chris.
not true,
you
Mike.
said that, Chris.
I just said that
Who was
Joe
sitting with me
simply
at dinner?
asked. He's like, hey, he pointed out that I'm not the oldest anymore.
Right. So it's clearly on your mind. Right?
But I did not
John,
add
are
in
people
that the
commenting?
only
Can we
reason
get
Mike
some comments
Walter
on this?
was invited. Like, I did not say that. No, I did not. I did not throw.
So anyway,
I threw Alex Nepo under the bus yesterday.
And it's a weird feeling to be like at Think Tank. I'm like, there's probably 15 members older than me, maybe
Easily.
more. I might even be at like a halfway point.
You're a fetus.
And
at
so,
Think Tank.
but
fetus.
Raise your hands if you went running twice out of the 3 mornings this week. All right, I'm the only hand raised, so I went
to the gym.
You went to the gym. Okay, that's good. That's
crushed.
Good. But
Crushed it.
Anyway, thank you for solving it. Well, you didn't solve any controversy because you're denying it.
I thought you were going to bring up something super controversial.
So, what's topic number 1?
Topic number 1. So first and foremost, should we just kind of shout out the people in the room that actually got up to be here, maybe? Or
let me introduce the photographer because I had his name wrong before. And
Well,
I feel
he's not even
horrible.
in here.
When
Get him
Philip
last.
comes back in,
Philip, yeah.
I won't call him Patrick like I was all week apparently, and nobody corrected me.
The first time I heard it was this morning, and I was
I
like,
called the guy Patrick 5 times, and then Joe's like, his name is Philip. Could have told me that the 4th time ago, but thank you.
he's too
But
nice
it's, you
to
know what?
correct
It's
himself.
actually a very cool idea, Brian. I don't know whether it was your idea last year.
Hold on. Rewind. I mean, like, just give him, because I know people have been blowing you up. What's the DJ Collective? What's the DJ Collective? I mean, just give like a high level overview.
This is my first year here.
Okay.
Brian, do you want to come up and give it?
Please, no.
Brian,
Please,
what are you,
Brian.
camera shy?
Come
Ladies
on.
and gentlemen, the one and only, and I know how to pronounce his name because I've introduced him a couple times, Brian
Bonacisi.
How was
Yes.
that? Get him up.
Hey. No voice, but I'm here.
Just give us this quick, if you had a paragraph to describe what this collective is,
Yeah.
go.
Well, it was really just an idea between you, me, and Jason Janai, just about trying to provide a place that we didn't think was covered in the DJ world.
Meaning a small group that includes you. Meaning pretty much.
Something like that.
Okay.
No. But I mean, there's DJ conferences. Those are great. It's typically though level 101 or 201 content, and that's by design. And it's for the masses. Then there's the workshops, which typically drill down on a certain topic. And then there are, think tanks that are great too, but typically those are regionalized. There's not a whole lot of, there is a lot of exclusivity there. And we tried to create a place where there's a lot of 401 content with people who are truly changing the game and want to change their game. So if they're not at the top of it, we're hopefully that they're real close to it. And that's the gist.
Joe did not hear a word you say because he's too busy trying to make sure he looks cool on camera. You could tell Joe's like, how do I look with the forehead?
I was hot.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
Brian
you, Brian.
and Bonacisi.
Yes, everybody, give it up. Give it up.
So is that what we want to do? We just want to go around the room?
Sure.
Alex Nepa, you want to come up and say hello?
Come on.
Alex, we were talking about you before you came in the room. Tell us what the...
Take that middle seat.
Alex Nepa, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, everybody?
Tell us what the... just give us a gun show right now.
We're in a hoodie, so
How recently did you start the weight lifting?
it's been about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
How much weight have you gained in 2 years?
I really stayed stagnant for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And this year I gained 50 pounds.
50 pounds. This guy, so yesterday morning, I get on an elevator, 6:45 to go run. And Alex is on the elevator. And I say, hey, do you want to run with me? And he goes, no, I'm going to a gym. I said, what's wrong with the fitness center here? And he says,
There just wasn't enough weight.
not enough weights in the fitness center.
They only went up to 50
The
pounds.
guy had to find a better gym to get more weights. So that's pretty badass. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was the inspiration?
I don't know. I guess so. I'm just obviously.
You were in good shape anyway.
Yeah. So I'm 5'5", 5'6" on a good day. So I'm short. Can't control that. I'm bald. Can't control that. So I didn't want to be George Danza, short, bald, and fat.
Okay.
So I just decided I can control this.
All right.
Yeah.
And you've done a great job of controlling it.
Thank you.
Maria mentioned before, we'll talk about this when you come up, but how important your hair is to your brand. Is this part of your brand now?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah,
You're known as the Jack.
I couldn't get plugs and then show up one day.
No, that's
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. All right. Anything you want to share with our...
No, it's been an awesome week and it's really cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Great job, Alex Nepa. I shouldn't interview everyone, right?
I don't
I'm a-
care. Why we got
Kristen,
an
come on up.
hour? Come on. Kristen Wilson,
Kristen,
our DJ rocks.
are you the... Let me get you on camera first. How are you? Kristen honored me yesterday. We did some one-on-ones, and you asked a one-on-one with me, which was nice. We had a great conversation. Sitting poolside, chatting about recruitment and training and everything else. It was awesome. Are you the closest to here?
Yeah, I'm about hour and 45 minutes out.
Nice. Very
Orlando. I drove here. Oh,
Oh, okay. The ladies. So we did this basically to make it convenient for you two, right? Is that why we're here? Okay.
yes.
How's your week been?
Fabulous. That's why I have no voice left.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have a full day and it's gone.
What a stimulating conversation over dinner we had last night with David. Is David in the room? No, Krieger.
He's right not here because of
He's-
the conversation. we
Yeah,
had.
he's still but you know what? It reminded me, Kristen, people say all the time, why do you go to conventions or small things like this? It's because the one-on-ones are something that's not structured, but sometimes it can be spontaneous. And we just got into this. It was very similar to the conversation we had, Joe, with Nick Spinelli about interaction but it got heated, but not like heated in a bad way. It just got passionately heated. Would you agree with that? Well, because I think Kristen and I fall on the side of we don't mind getting out there and interacting. And David Krieger felt that was the evil, like we're ruining the industry kind of. Yeah. What was the word he used? We're pandering to a crowd. We were pandering. I thought that was. We got into this.
We pander crowds.
The difference between pandering and catering to a crowd, and I just thought it was really interesting. But it just kind of. I was literally involved in the conversation last night, but also remembering that this is why these things are magical, because you couldn't have that conversation just without being there in person.
Yeah,
doesn't happen.
I mean, or in a boxing ring.
Right. I did. I flipped the table over, and that restaurant, Brian, was awesome, by the way. Burns. I'd never heard of it. BERN. If you're ever in Tampa, go ask for the tour. And it's actually genius because they make you have dessert in a different room, which is kind of impressive, right? But I know why they do that. My sister, who's in the restaurant business, has explained this to me. The biggest challenge in the restaurant business is turning over tables. And every once in a while, you get that group that has finished their dinner, they're sipping their coffee, and they're just still bullshitting. Sorry, John. And so that's a great way to get that table to move so that you can sit at another table. It's ingenious. But meanwhile, you feel special. You're like, oh, I'm going to a different room for dessert. Anyway, kind of cool.
They did have buttons on the wall for music, so I liked that.
And then at some point, they were playing Here Comes the Bride. What was that about?
I'm like...
Was there... Oh, tell us. Yes. Yeah. I understand that, but why would he play Here Comes the Bride? Oh, because they knew we were wedding
That's
DJs.
Horrible programming.
So they were pandering to us. They were pandering to us.
I don't even know if that's pandering.
That's pandering. All right.
That wrong choice.
Kristen, you want to just finish the show and Joe and I will go back to sleep? You got 45 minutes of content?
Okay, yeah, sure, I can make it up.
Take over.
Yeah.
Go.
Wait, are you serious? Wait, what?
I am serious because I didn't prepare anything for today. So, yeah.
Well, I could get passionate about what we talked
Tell
about
us
last night.
You want to do that?
I can.
Defend.
It'll get me heated, but
defend the wobble right now.
Oh, you picked that one?
All right. Defend Cupid Shuffle. Defend any line dance you want.
Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like our job is to go into a room, whether it's 50 people, 17 people, 1,000 people, and play to that crowd. I mean, I've heard the Cupid Shuffle and the Wobble 542 times. So if I were at a party and someone were to play it, I'd probably leave the dance floor. But it's not about my preferences. It's about being able to go into a room and, manipulate the feelings and the emotions and create moments with the music. So if I know that I'm playing to a crowd where, I'll say this again, I'm at an upscale country club and I've got, 80 of, the cool chicks that were in sororities and, the guys and the dudes who all hung out and they're all a group of friends, it's going to be great after cake cutting. She might like Cardi B. So I'm down. But everything before that, you also have to play to the parents and their friends because they're excited. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So
I do.
Listen, we got in the heat
That
of
sound was Nick
conversation.
Spinelli's head exploding, by the way. That's that sound you just heard.
I might get to meet him because I did listen to him one time.
So the whole conversation started with, I just threw the scenario out. If you had two options of clients, one option is a client doesn't want to hear, hey, Philip, how are you? Got his name. If one scenario is somebody doesn't want any line dancing whatsoever, forbids you from playing. And then the other scenario is a client that wants every line dance possible. And I know those are two extremes, but given that scenario, which would you prefer? And I said I would prefer the do all the line dances because here's why. I don't know how good that party is going to be. If that party is great from the first song to the last, then I don't need line dancing. But if I'm struggling with that crowd, I know line dancing will help me. I'd rather go into a party with all my tools. That's all. That's my only point. I'd rather, because when somebody says don't play fill in the blank, whatever, we all have to admit that takes away a tool. If somebody says don't play any 50s music at your party, they've taken a tool away. Now, it's a tool you might not need, but I'd rather go into a party with my tool chest. That's all. It's my only point. Great. Good. I wish Krieger was here. Maybe he'll make it down.
Maybe he will.
Give Kristen a big round of applause.
Love you, Kristen.
I'm gonna take over for a minute because I feel like I'm hogging the camera and the interviews.
Well, so maybe like you said, Mike, hop back in the shop for a second. It looks better with both of us in here. So I did make some questions up, and I know you did as well.
So you prepared.
I did for the first time. So real quick show of hands. I did this yesterday. So there's about 5, 10, 15, 18 people in here, something like that. So show of hands, how many people came to the workshop before? I think it's like 5 or 6 of y'all, 7.
Cool. And then
how many? I'm pandering.
We're pandering.
I don't even know what that means. How many people have listened to at least one of the 100 episodes? So almost everybody.
God. Jan, I know you never even listened to. Okay, thanks.
He was on the one he was on.
He's the one I was looking at. Like I'm sure Jason's
the one episode he was on.
Oh, that's true. He was
listened
on one.
To the shit.
You know, he went back and listened.
He
to
crushed that one. All right, so
we have the same ego, dude. I understand, man. I do the same way.
He didn't.
When people tag me in a post and I'm not in it, like I go, why would you tag me in this post? I'm not in it. I get it.
So maybe somebody that hadn't already come up here yet, do you have a favorite episode? Vince, can you think of one?
Now, understand this. So Joe and I take turns selecting topics.
Valid.
So this is now a competition between
us.
It's
not.
It is. I'm hoping it's one that I came up with, and you know that, Joe.
No, you got one?
So go ahead.
You have a favorite? You have a favorite
Pick
episode?
the top 41.
I can ask another question.
Oh, you mean the one where we recorded with Glenn and then Joe didn't save the file, so we had to record again?
Right.
Sorry, Glenn. The one where Glenn took time out of his vacation to record with us, and then we called him 2 days later and go, Glenn, we didn't save that file somehow.
It wasn't that I didn't save it. Technologically, something failed. Out of 100 episodes,
what had happened
was I didn't hit record.
Sorry, Glenn.
But listen,
well, good. I'm pretty sure that was I prepped the question.
Here's the thing, though. I've never listened to the podcast.
I know that blows me away.
I know
Can you
that's
imagine
weird.
The guy never goes back and listens to the podcast?
I know that's weird, but do you have a favorite episode?
Yeah, the top 41. I as vanity because I came up with it, but I just think that's for DJs. It's the most useful for performing DJs. I know there's a lot of people want to hear the business side of stuff, and they want to hear us talk about taxes or recruitment. But if you are a performing DJ, I think that one still got great value. Basically, for our 40th episode, so over a year ago, I had Joe put together his top 40 party playlist of all time, and I did it, and we compared lists. And my biggest fear when I came up with the idea was that it's going to be identical. We're going to have 38 of the same songs. Mm-hmm. But I think we had like 27. I think we had 13 of the same and 27. And so I was and I've added songs to my playlist based on your suggestions.
Same.
So if you're going to go back and listen to just one, I'd suggest either the Glenn Roush one or that one. How's that?
If you're a Cowboys fan, definitely go back.
Right.
Okay. Do you have a least favorite? Do you remember one that we just fell flat? It was a big old dookie. Because you edit them, you do a lot of work.
I do. I go back and listen twice because I do the edit, and then I also usually when it launches, I listen. No, I can't say.
No,
I think everything I've ever done is great, so it's hard for me to say. Yeah, I know.
All right, okay. Real quick, I'm polling the room. So now there's about 20.
Does anybody have a least favorite episode?
Yeah, not that question. I'm moving on.
Oh, okay.
Your favorite story?
Come on up, Rob.
Come on up, Rob Ferret. Ladies and gentlemen, right out of Utah.
And by the way, Chris was literally, Chris wants
Rob
to get
Ferret.
on camera. So you're next, dude.
Rob Ferret.
Hey. So my favorite story is Joe Bunn walking in to one of his guys' gigs and said, "You're out. You are done."
I use much more colorful language.
Right, exactly. Yes. I wish you could tell all the colorful things that you did and how it all went down.
I try and keep it PG.
I just want to visualize this with you. Just how it all went down.
I literally went, that is the worst thing ever. And nobody do that.
And what was the guy doing?
Here's what happened, though. This was like well into the era of cell phones, and this guy refused to get his cell phone. Oh. He went to the Carolina Country Club instead of the Carolina Club. They're in two different cities in the fall with the state fair in between them. Yeah. So by the time he realizes he's in the wrong city at the wrong club and drives to Chapel Hill, he's late. So the girl, the couple is now at the venue. They're calling the office, which I think forwarded to my house, which is then getting my wife on the phone, and she's calling me on my cell at my gig saying there's a problem. DJ's not at this club. I can't call the kid because he refused to get a cell phone. So finally, I guess I get the venue manager or something on the phone. He's there. He finally shows up. He misses cocktail hour or whatever. He sets up. He's playing. You know, by the end of dinner, he started. He's playing the party. My gig ends early in Chapel Hill, right down the road. So I promptly drive over there. And I was already furious, obviously. But then he's got his tie loosened and his sleeves rolled up like he's on the campaign trail. And I literally looked at him and I said, "Get the out of here." And he was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And this was back when I only had 2 or 3 guys and I owned all the gear.
Wow.
So I go, "Get out. Like, just get out. Like, I own all this stuff." And I took over and crushed the party, and the bride thought I was a hero. I wouldn't advise that, but I did.
Sure. I don't know a lot about running a multi-op. It's not like I wrote a book with that title. But don't ever do that. First of all, North Carolina is an open carry state, right? Like you can legally have guns. Yeah. So, you know, this guy could have just shot Joe like, "No, I'm not leaving." And then you have a wedding where there's a shooting. It's just, don't do it. Wait to when somebody is performing, that is not the time to correct them. You wait till the performance is over and then correct them, or even fire them. If you want to fire somebody, wait till the loadout and then fire them. Smaller, but just from a rookie's advice.
So one of my favorite episodes is Nick Spinelli and talking about, is interaction dead? Mm-hmm. I think it's dying, but the thing is, what I loved about that episode is hearing the different sides of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think of me as a super interactive guy. The more weddings I do, the more I see the trends where people are wanting less and less of it. Mm-hmm. And I get better as a DJ because now I'm focused on the music, honing my skill. So I have evolved as a DJ. When I first got to Utah, I'm like, I'm that guy that gets out there and interacts with everybody. Now I'm like, I'm that guy who does what you want me to do. Right. And if it's to stay behind the booth, right, I will do that. So I respect both sides, but I see myself going less interactive and more about the music.
Personally, or your clients do? In other words, you're
both.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm feeling the vibe and I'm like, oh, I'm actually enjoying this. I don't have to worry about this. So that's me.
Rob Foray, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bring Chris up.
Hintz?
Yeah.
Let's go. Chris Hintz, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hintz. This guy's got a great accent. What's up, Chris?
Much. How are you, Joe?
I'm good, brother. Did you want to did you have anything you wanted to say, or did you just want to come up and get on the podcast?
Well, I was being polite. Brian was like, "Chris, you're next."
Okay.
So that's why I was standing there.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You're here. You're a listener.
I am.
How many of the 100 do you think you've actually listened to?
Well, in the winter, I plow snow because I live in South Dakota.
Oh, I remember
that. Winter is from late September to early May.
Right.
So we will listen to a lot of podcasts. So I have listened to a few. A lot of them you're listening to as you're driving to and from events, or to and from lots that you're plowing. But so there's not a lot of stuff that you absorb all of the time.
Right.
There's always like nuggets here and there that are super great. So.
Yeah. So if you don't follow Chris, give him your social and stuff like that, Chris, or your Instagram, whatever you're most proud of, I guess.
Most proud of? Well, if you I'm most proud of my wife, actually.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy smokes. This guy's just earning brownie points. Go ahead.
Well, we're here at a collective with a bunch of super talented people that I admire both professionally and personally.
Same.
And yesterday I get a message from my wife, and my mother-in-law is in her 4th chemo appointment yesterday.
Geez.
And she has been trying to do some really sweet things for her mom to try to keep the level up. So every single time she's had these chemo appointments, she's decorating the whole house. Like yesterday's theme was "Cancer is elfed up." So she walks out of the house and there's blow up elves, and she goes to her room with chemo and there's glasses and there's all these really sweet things that she's doing to keep her mom's spirits up.
Yeah.
So while we're down here educating, I'm missing that part because this is important, but what she's going through is so much more important. And my wife is such a trooper for being able to do something like that to keep their spirits up.
It's so much bigger than this. Nope. Dude. So I don't know if she's watching, but at least hopefully she'll watch the recording. And there's a special place in heaven for your wife.
That's just because she's putting up with me.
That's
pretty
a
much.
valid point
So,
as well.
yeah.
Everybody, Chris Hintz.
Thank you guys.
The man. Dang. That's
By the way,
next level.
let's do a hard segue out of that. Randy Bartlett's retirement party was last night.
Thank God.
And
97th retirement.
Rob, I haven't
for Randy
seen
Bartlett.
your video yet. Did you post it? Did you see Sean and I? We posted ours. So Big Daddy and I made a kind of I thought it was funny. I don't know if anyone else will find it funny, but we made a video for Randy. Happy retirement, Randy.
He ain't retired.
He ain't retiring.
No.
Whatever.
It's literally.
And belated happy birthday to a dear friend, Randy Bartlett. And by the way, that makes me think of because Randy Bartlett is so near death. It makes me remember my least favorite episode when Joe was like, "Let's talk about what happens if you die." And I was like, "Really? We're going to spend a half hour on that topic?"
Yep.
So that's my least favorite. I remember that now. That's my least favorite episode. I think I literally said halfway through it, "This episode
is terrible.
sucks. This is horrible."
And people
Why
need
would
to
we
hear
want
it,
it? Nobody needs to hear that. People do not need, especially not people who listen in the morning. Who wants to wake up and think about, "Yeah, I'm going to die"?
No, but it's not a radio
should make
show.
a
It's a
plan
podcast. You could have
for
listened
the-
at night.
I don't. Whatever. Okay.
All right, room poll. Hold
Maria
up.
raised her hand.
Okay.
Do you want to get on? Maria.
Yes.
Maria,
Great
who
hair.
shared. No, you sit here.
Okay.
Maria, who
Let's
shared
go.
with me earlier today that is it your business? Director of Business Development says that your hair is worth 20% of your brand.
Gross.
I'll let you explain it, but you can see as she steps into the camera why.
Look at the hair. Ladies and gentlemen, Maria Mattarelli. That's a great name.
Thank you.
I feel like mine's terrible.
No, you got a good name. You rock it well.
My hairline's terrible as well. No, it's a bad. Yeah, it's like good hair, bad hair.
You have good hair.
It's had a lot of work and money put into it. So you and I just met like literally yesterday.
Yes. You had an amazing presentation.
I did have a pretty amazing off the cuff Jason Clock fill-in presentation.
Excellent
Shout out to Jason Clock that couldn't make it. No, I'm not. I hope you're feeling better, brother. Seriously, I'm not. So Maria, quick background, high level overview of your just kind of pro speaking / DJ career.
Yeah. So probably about 7-8 years ago, I realized that working in an office wasn't the life I wanted. And
Terrible.
I was consulting in IT project management, and I realized that might not be my full passion in life. And so I figured out one way to get out of the 9-to-5 was to actually start speaking at conferences. So I started speaking, traveling, and I started speaking a little bit for free, and then worked my way up to getting paid, and then was getting flown around the world from Sweden, Vancouver, Morocco, Istanbul. And one day I was speaking at a conference that forgot to book evening entertainment. And so my friend was putting on the event. There were hundreds of people there, and they were like, there must be music, there must be dancing. And so my friend Alistair asked my friend Nick and I if we could DJ or something. And Nick had DJed before, and I hadn't at the time. And Nick was like, "Maria, do you want to DJ?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm Ron Burgundy." Like, okay. And it sounded fun. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it was like enjoyable. And I was like, I kind of like that. But
This
I'd like
is
to do
recent
more.
history though, like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, within the last 3 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So then I just started traveling with my DJ gear. I was speaking at a conference in Singapore. I had an event in Munich, Germany 2 weeks later. I saw the conference coordinators in Singapore, and they're like, I was like, "You guys aren't going to believe this. I DJed at this conference." And they're like, "Do you want to DJ in Munich?" I was like, "Don't play." So my first international event was a 750 person conference in Germany. And then from there, I know my buddy Nick had all of our gear here in Florida. So I went out in the streets of Munich and just bought all new gear. So I was like, I'm ready. Preparation means opportunity. Ever since I traveled with my gear, just got back from Thailand and Australia.
Meanwhile, I'll be in Raleigh. So I said, so how did you end up here? And then she had a funny story about our friend Mitch Taylor. Just give him a quick.
Yeah, so I actually went to the National Speakers Association Winter Conference last year, and I walked in and sat in the back row, and Mitch was there. And I looked over, I was like, this guy's taking amazing notes. And
That sounds like him.
And I was like, I'm not going to sit next to him and type the same exact notes, because his notes were very thorough. And I was like, excuse me, can I get a copy of your notes? Are you open to sharing those? And he was like, yeah. And we must have struck up a conversation. I must have mentioned DJing. He reached out to me on either LinkedIn or Facebook, and he was like, hey, do you want to speak at Midwest DJs Live? And I was like, that would be awesome. I never thought to really like combine speaking at a DJ conference.
Yeah.
And then he's like, do you want to DJ? I was like, what, you want me to DJ in front of DJs?
Yeah.
Really? I was like,
That's the
it's
gig.
a little intimidating, but I did it. And I'm glad that I did. It was really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to say,
Thank
did
you.
you were there? You got to see her?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Give it up, everybody,
Thank
for
you.
Maria. Thank you.
Maria
So-
didn't want to leave. She wanted to be your co-host for the rest of the show. Thank you, Maria.
Much better looking.
I got to
than you,
figure out
sir.
how to get some speaking
Much
gigs in
better looking.
Singapore.
Yeah. Real quick, room poll. So 20 plus people here now. Everybody's almost here from the collective. If you had to pick, like if you could pick clean edit or dirty edit version of the PHDJ podcast, which would you rather hear? Hands for clean. One.
You know what? I got to be honest with you. As much as I
Come on, Michael.
Dude, I heard so many MFs on Monday. I really was almost like, all right, I get it. You know what? Here's a good, Rob, you agree with me? You know what? It drove home the point, and I curse all the time. Cursing should be for emphasis. If it becomes just too, to me, it just became too much. Yeah. So, and I'm not, believe me. Oh, John's back. We're talking about cursing, John.
Nobody's
John just hopped back into his seat. Yeah.
Nobody's cussing.
And I let
Cursing.
an S word slip. I'm sorry, John.
That was it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
it.
PG.
But I said MF instead of saying the actual word.
Valid. You
John's
did
my
say that.
Censor. David Krieger, come on up. You missed it. We said nothing but glowing things about you. before you
Valid
came in the room.
point. Not
But
really.
let's get a little rebuttal going. David is from Los Angeles.
No, come on. Let's go.
David, we had a stimulating conversation over dinner last night. Would you call it that?
Yeah, we were. It got a little heated, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
His hair usually lays flat, by the way.
Difference
that was
of opinions.
The result of the.
I dropped the hair dryer in the bathtub.
So, tell me why I'm wrong to want to do the wobble.
Tell me why I'm wrong. To where do I begin?
How was that first setup? Where do I begin? He goes, how much time do we have?
So I have a lot of feelings on this.
Clearly. You let them be known last night.
Well, here's the thing. So
Three tables over were like, they had nothing to do with the DJ business. They're like, we get it. The wobble sucks. Did you really? Go ahead.
Can't stand the heat. So I've never liked songs with dances associated with them.
Okay.
I have vivid memories of being in 7th grade, leaving the gymnasium at school dances when they play YMCA or Cotton Eye Joe. I don't know if I saw the Thriller video young and it freaked me out about people like dancing in unison, but it's never been my thing.
I thought we were going to go to a Michael Jackson thing there, like sleepover, but
No,
Okay.
my God. This conversation just go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I do, however, try not to let my personal tastes in music affect what I play too much.
Right.
But the thing about the wobble and other line dances is that they're very polarizing. Some people at the event might like them, but there could be an equal or greater number of people that hate them.
But couldn't you say that about any song we play?
No.
You don't think Cardi B is polarizing?
Not as polarizing as
if my parents are at your wedding
Yeah.
and you drop Cardi B, now I'm not saying they're leaving; they understand why you're doing it. But
Uh-huh.
if my parents are at your wedding and they get 4 hours of Cardi B,
who's playing 4 hours of
but if they get 4
Does
hours,
she even
of,
have 4 hours of music?
But my
she came
point
out
is,
like last year.
I think you could say, but isn't she on
What is
every other
going
track?
on, man? Okay, hear about this. Why is it 0 or 100?
Well,
Why is it like
I
all
would-
line dances or all Cardi
I would
B?
say the same thing about. I would say the same thing about line dancing. Why is one line dancing in a 4-hour party polarizing?
I just don't feel like
can't
it's
you
necessary.
as a non-line dancer, not at plenty of parties it is not necessary. But would
Yeah.
you admit that at some parties it can be a spark plug?
I'm usually not at those parties.
And you know what? That's one of the things I tremendously respect about this guy. You told us last night at the dinner table, basically, if you get a client that calls up and says, "This is what I want," you say, "I'm not the DJ for you." Mad respect for that, because I'm a whore. I will take any gig, anyone that's willing to pay my price. I'm taking it. I'm not turning it down. So I give you a ton of credit for that. I really do.
So there's a lot of. I mean, I'm still very new to this, and I feel like coming to a conference like this is great for me because I still feel like I have so much to learn. I haven't even been running my own business for 3 years, and so. Yeah, there's always new things and new opportunities. But one thing that I learned in doing like some education and conferences and saying it's better to be everything to someone than something to everyone. Because I would rather have someone in my market be like, that guy, that motherfucking guy, that's my DJ. That is the only guy in this town that can DJ my wedding. Not, well, it could be him or it could be this, they all play the wobble, so what does it really matter, I want people that be like, I don't care what his price is. I don't care what we have to do.
I forget which speaker said it this week, but I heard and I wrote it down. Somebody said the riches are in the niches. And I think that's the point you're making.
Yeah.
I totally, listen, I respect it madly. And we're just like I did with Nick Spinelli and you. This is a topic we will agree to disagree on. And I'll take all those parties that want some line dancing and you can take them that don't. I'm great. Right. Joe just won't.
So I think what kind
Joe,
of ruffled,
I think is the worst.
Okay.
Joe is the most wrong at this. I think you're wrong, but at least you draw the line. Joe is basically saying, I'll play them, but I'm not going to help them be successful.
Oh, I don't not do that either.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Because listen,
this
no
isn't
one
a
could
kid's
deny.
party, though. This isn't a kid's party. These
no
are
one
adults.
could deny that when you drop the wobble, it would be better if somebody counted it off and let it.
I can deny that.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I will deny
you're
it.
wrong. Yeah.
Let the record show.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If it's a kid's party, sure. Kids like to be told what to do. They don't know what they're doing. They go to a party, they're awkward, they're all on one side, the other side. Adults, if someone gets on the microphone and tells me what to start doing, I'd be like, bro, fuck you. Play better music.
You
want me to dance? How about you?
David, we weren't going to curse on this. We were going to try.
I thought we were using it for emphasis.
That's right. David Krieger. Yeah. David, go ahead and drop the mic. They're not mine. They're just.
No, do not drop the mic. Thank you, Evie, for the microphone.
Let's bring up Jason. Do you want to weigh in on this? I'm really interested in Europe because I know you.
Come on up, dog.
Yeah.
But in a different way.
You don't have to.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you taught the Jana.
All right,
you taught the Jana.
Come on in. Oh well, you got to get on the mic.
Don't talk before you're on the mic.
Hold up. I put them in my suitcase, bro. They're giant. No, you look good with the big EV mic. Ladies and gentlemen, straight out of Jersey, SCE Event Group, the OG event group, Jason Chanai, everybody.
First off, I don't even know if I want to get in this conversation, but you over there, if you're watching this, because I see that there's a bunch of people on here,
yes,
hit the goddamn this thing right now. There's only 5 fucking this. Do more. I'm sorry, John. But Dave already cursed, and I get excited, and I like to curse a lot. More than he does, and I emphasize everything I do.
So just quick weigh in, though. You'll play it, but you're not going to lead it.
I'll definitely never lead it.
Okay. But you'll play it.
It depends. I mean, yeah, right. I'm doing someone's wedding. I want the wobble. I don't care. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'll
wobble it out.
Right. Yeah, go.
Okay.
Go, girl.
I got you.
Go.
Right. But do you know how to do?
No.
I don't either.
No.
And Mike doesn't believe that. Do you know how to do the wobble? Like, could you, if I drop the wobble right now, could you get out there and do it?
No.
Me neither.
I remember
your bride wants a chicken dance.
I'll play it. I played the Macarena in Las Vegas in front of a stuffed room full of people.
That's actually true, I think. No, sir.
I'll play anything at any time to get people to lose their goddamn minds. Yes. It doesn't matter what, but the difference is I'm not going to step out there into something that I feel is uncomfortable for me, for my own whatever goes on in my world. Yeah, my own G. Yeah.
Wow,
my G. Yeah, but I have no problem with it. Like Nick was on here. Nick's part of SCE. He had his opinion.
Yeah,
I've got dudes at SCE that can do all that stuff and are interactive people.
Sure,
I agree with Mike when he says a DJ is every DJ is interactive. Like, I agree with that. Like, because you have to speak on the microphone and provide direction to accomplish things. I get that.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But
go on.
The difference of like that crossover, like jump into that party and become part of that, that's not me.
Right.
Right. Like when I set up a group photo, I'm not going to be in that photo. But Mike has a great point, because when he's in the photo, that's a branding opportunity that will catalyst. At SCE, we have guys that get in the photo. We have guys that are nowhere near the photo.
Yeah. JSG loves to be in the photo.
There's not one way to do it,
right,
to be successful in this world we live in.
I still don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I mean, real quick question though, going into December 1st being on Saturday, corporate holiday party season, different vibe altogether than a wedding. Sometimes spouses don't come, sometimes they do. There is no playlist, let's say. If you have to go to your toolkit and drop one of, let's say, 4 or 5 line dances from electric slide to Cupid shuffle wobble, whatever, would you do it? So in other words, it's not on a required list.
I am confident in my ability to control people and their emotions using other people's music or my own edits.
Yes.
That I do not have to go anywhere near any one of those songs to get people to lose their minds.
Okay.
I'm dialed into, for 20 years, I've studied people's social interactions and figured out how to control their energy using music as the catalyst to put them into another stratosphere, right?
Okay.
If in the, like, okay, I'm playing everything, if I'm playing shit and they're not on the floor, the wobble is not going to be the thing that's going to get them on the floor. The electric slide is not going to, like, there's other music that can do that. I think in certain cultures, Philippine, whatever, like that's like they're born, they start doing the toto dance. Like they like, there's cultures that have specific, if you're Italian, you do a tarantella. If you're Greek, you do the thing that you throw shit on the ground. Right. Everyone has their things that are like specific to a universal people. So like, this conversation, there's a lot of things that impact the overall, like, I guess. Process,
so right? I'm making it too general. So like, it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'll if that's what someone wants, like, it's their party. I'm not got for me.
But it's not a crutch that you would pull out of the toolkit.
It's probably the last thing I would do.
Okay.
And then if it worked, I'd be like, oh fuck, look at that. Oh God, I should have did that. Like, what else? I would say, what would Mike do? And I'm like, Mike, what would you do? And he'd be like, oh, play this. And I'll be like, oh, got it. I got it.
I'm a little different.
No,
I mean, I would say that if I needed it, especially at the corporate holiday party season, I would definitely pull it. I'm definitely not going to lead it. It's definitely not my first go-to. I mean, I'm going to try other things. It's a little bit of a crutch. I mean, I'll admit it. But I keep them close if I need them. You know what I mean?
Hyped on this.
I know you're really hyped.
It's like not even 10 o'clock.
We didn't sleep much last night either.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay. So anything else you want to say, Jay, before
if you're watching this, leave a comment, share it to someone else, follow their podcast thing. Please make sure you support John and that whole world, and hit the thumbs up on this video. Come on. There was 5 when I came down here. I hope when I go back over there, there's a lot more than 5. Do it. It's good for everybody. Please.
I mean, they just don't get it. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Jason Jani, everybody. Dave, are you coming up? I'm going to let you interview Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, the man who DJ'd for a room full of DJs and literally never even broke a sweat. Everybody, DJ Digital Dave. What's up?
So, Dave, you showed us how to work Ableton. You sit here so you're in the shop, please. Ableton yesterday, which is still downloading, by the way. The hotel Wi-Fi is not that good. I bought it yesterday, and I'm downloading it. I think I'm 30% done.
6 more
so
hours.
Can I get on the horn? And Jason, thank you, by the way. Jason Jan, I offered the same. I really want to try to learn that program a little bit more. So do I have your help moving forward?
Yeah,
great.
Definitely.
Put him on the spot, didn't I? That's great. You want to just tell us some of the things you do with that program?
So I do a lot of different things with Ableton that can go from extremely simple to extremely complex. I use it to make my mixtapes, a lot of them, which are extremely layered. If any of you have ever listened, or if you have not, I would suggest checking out my 90s mix, which is on Club Killers. It is number 5 and their Throwback Radio podcast. And it had 163 songs in 74 minutes. And it is like a complete, I try to get a very complete, comprehensive view of the 90s, from, rock music to pop and boy bands and hip hop.
It's the best 90s mix I've ever heard in my entire life. It's on Mixcloud. Just search for Digital Dave. And I think,
it's called Throwback Radio Episode 5.
Throwback Radio Episode 5 on Mixcloud. There's an app for it. You will listen to it so many times that Mixcloud will literally shut you down. Anything else you want to talk about, Dave?
So I wanted to finish answering Mike's question about Ableton, and then I did want to weigh in on the wobble as well.
Oh,
I want to weigh in on the
blowing
wobble.
up the wobble this morning.
So as far as Ableton goes, I make some simple edits. I've from a wedding perspective, I've had brides where they want. One example I used yesterday was I had a bride and groom, and they wanted "Say You Won't Let Go" as their first dance song. And the groom said, and the bride said at their meeting with me, and they had a good laugh about it. He said, "I have literally held her hair while she is throwing up, but I don't want to think about that during our first dance. Can you cut that verse out of the song?" So I used Ableton, cut that verse out of the song. On a kind of mid-level, you can do transitions with it. You can, make your own custom transitions to get you from, 120s down to 105 or even all the way down to 70.
You showed us yesterday how you make a transition mix in literally a minute, I think.
Yeah.
You took a song, you took what Cardi B's
and Finesse.
Finesse started it at 125, brought it down to where it is at 104. And it was, really, it took you 2 minutes to show us, but that's just because
it would have been a third of the time if we weren't, I wasn't explaining it. And even just making a blend with it, and putting an instrumental and an acapella in there is something that can take literally 5 minutes. All
right, so your view of the wobble is, sir. Well, he said wobble.
That was the last, discussed. I mean, it is line dances in general, and I would say I'm very close to Jan I's opinion on this, and I would say that I pretty much will only play a line dance if the actual client who is signing my check wants it, whether it's a corporate client or a bride or groom. If they want it, then it's happening. If they don't, it's not. And I wanted to really actually kind of allude to your corporate party, Christmas party comment, because I had a holiday party last year. And it was after dinner. The bar was closed during dinner. And as soon as dinner ended, everyone jumps back up and goes to the bar. And they had presentations during dinner. It was almost 2 hours. So nobody had drank all during dinner. And people kind of wanted to get their drink on and get into the night. And I'm, playing just kind of vibey and R&B stuff, and Stevie Wonder, Return of the Mac, things like that. And the woman who ran the party, who I've worked for a few times, and she's great. I love her. But she comes up and she's like, "We need to get people to dance." And I said, don't worry. They're going to dance. It's cool. And she's like, no, and she's just stressing out. Like she's afraid they're not going to dance. And so she's like, can you play the wobble? And I'm like, yes, but I knew what was going to happen, and exactly what I thought was going to happen did. Played the wobble. Everyone was not ready to dance yet. They came out. They did the wobble. The second it was over, I tried to play something else. I feel like it might have been "I Want You Back" by the Jackson 5 that would keep them on the floor. Every single person walks back off. 10, 15 minutes later, the same thing happened with a different line dance. I forget what it was. Might have been the Cupid Shuffle. Same thing happens. Everybody walks on the floor. Next song, everybody walks off. And then we hit maybe a half hour into the night, maybe 40 minutes, and just kind of doing my thing and warming up the crowd. Everybody came out and they danced for 2 more hours. And it was, if you're going to force people to dance with a line dance when they are not ready to dance yet, it is going to be they go out for that song and then just walk right off. And so you didn't actually use that to help yourself in any way because you already just lost them. And so definitely, there can be a time and a place for it. And I've always said with line dances and DJs in general, I think it would be the most boring world if we all had the same opinion on things, or we all played the same songs, like your reference with the top 40 list that you each had. So I think it's a good thing that, you want to, or don't mind playing line dances, or, maybe me or Jason, kind of steer away from them a little more, because there are different crowds and, kind of different strokes for different folks. and everybody having their, own DJ that would work well for their group or for their personal likes.
Thank you, Dave. Excellent points. Excellent points. Dave Lander.
Thanks, guys.
What are we looking at? About 10
No,
more
we're good.
minutes?
No, well, yeah. Brian said
is-
we could go over as well.
Who else
so.
is dying to get up here?
Anybody
And
else want to talk a little
Good.
bit?
Mike,
Michael Mall.
Michael from Vibo, one of our sponsors, by the way.
Ladies and
Who owes
gentlemen,
us a check,
Michael
I'm pretty sure,
Mahler.
right?
What's
He
that?
owes us a check at some
He
point.
may owe us a
All right.
check.
You
All
can
right.
sit, but good.
Oh,
Oh,
a gift.
ooh,
Oh, I love a gift.
For every one of our listeners.
So I have a little gift
Come
for
on
this
on the-
story.
Okay, come on. Hold on. Let me make sure you're on. There you go.
So first of all, thank you so much for your support.
Dude, thank you for making something
helping,
cool.
helping DJs.
Yeah.
All over the world. But I was gonna buy you guys a gift to help everyone, grow their business. But all they had at the airport was something for fertility.
Fertility. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry about my English. So this is gonna give you a lot of babies.
I don't want any more babies.
It's a Jewish symbol for having lots of kids.
Really?
That's what they had.
Mike? Is that really what this is?
That's what they had. They ran out of the money stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, it's a pomegranate. It means you'll have like 400 and something kids.
No, stop.
I'm
Mike,
not
take
joking.
this. I'm done with the. I don't. Now I've touched it.
I'm not touching it either.
I'm content. You touched it. You gave it to me, Michael.
It was in the wrapper.
Oh, you're right. I just actually touched it. I had a vasectomy. I can't. That's not going to ever happen again for me. So anyway, for those of you who are listening and don't know about Vibo, you should, because one, they're a sponsor, but two, Michael gave an amazing presentation on it. Just a quick backstory on it, even for the people here. I was going to jump in yesterday, but we were starting to run tight on time. I mean, Michael and I met almost 2 years ago.
Year and a half.
Year and a half. He came from Israel to my company twice and showed us early versions of it. And I didn't even speak to you really on this yesterday, but just from what Mike, Walter, and myself saw early on to what the current iteration is, man, really, you should give yourself a pat on the back, or I will, because it's come a long way, man. And we've used it on and off. We're going to try and transition into all 16 of our guys using it on. Brian Bunn uses it regularly with his guys down in Florida. I mean, it's a great product. So VIBO, if you guys haven't checked it out, awesome planning tool for your clients to pick their music. Imports right over to Serato if you're a Serato user.
Or any other.
Any other?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh,
Virtual
Tractor?
DJ,
Oh,
Tractor,
wow.
everything.
Okay.
Even
So-
if you're an iTunes guy and you
Yeah.
don't have,
No, I got off that last year. Drew Pierce cussed me out. So does anybody else have any? Do you have anything else you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bonus for everyone that's in the room
Okay.
and listening.
Okay.
So I want to offer just for 24 hours. If anyone's on the live, anyone that signs up on the website, Vibo.io.
Vibo.io.
Again, it's going to help you make more money and save time.
Okay.
And give the best customer service.
Do they have to
that
put
you
in a
can.
promo code or anything, or
They
is it
just write when they book a call with me.
Yep.
They write DJ Collective PHDJ.
Okay.
And then I'll know that they came in, and it has to be in the next 24 hours. I'm giving them 50% off for life.
Okay.
For
Whoa,
life.
whoa, whoa.
Anybody that comes in, I'm going crazy.
Yeah, you are going crazy. He moved to the U.S.
I
He's
want-
lost his mind, folks.
I want the best, most intelligent DJs as fast as possible, giving me the ideas so that we can build the future. And that's why I want these guys in now.
Yeah. So if you're listening, or if you watch the recording of this, you have until 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 29th. 10. So you got 24 hours, Vibo.io, and sign up. And when you put in the notes, or is it like a promo code? or like-
No, just right where you referred. and
Yep,
say,
PHDJ
DJ
Podcast
Collective,
or the DJ
PHDJ.
Collective.
Yeah, PHDJ.
You're the man, Michael. Thanks for sponsoring us, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, brother. Yes, you've made me touch it. All right. What? Anybody else? So hold on. I had a couple more quick questions. And again, I think we've got plenty of time. Is there anything, just real quick, polling the audience, that you guys want to see? Well, first and foremost, I guess at episode 100, should this be our swan song? Okay. Or should we keep going? Keep going? All right. We'll keep going.
I would miss talking to you once a week. I really
You
would.
I would
look
too.
forward to it.
That's
now. Yeah.
actually, I would miss that too. So we'll keep going and just tell personal anecdotes.
Yeah, until we're down to one listener, which will be my mom. My mom will be the last.
My mom has never listened.
Yeah, my mom will tune in, and then once we're down to one, then we'll say,
Okay, well then, sidebar question: is there anything that you guys think that we haven't touched on that you would like to hear? Like, do you like the music episodes? Does anybody have anything specific you want to hear? Rob, just
Rob Foray wants us to talk about how DJs dress. Rob Foray, who are you the admin on the Dapper DJ Facebook page?
I didn't know that.
Rob is one of the styling and profiling DJs in our industry, and
well dressed.
I think we've maybe touched on a little bit, but we haven't done a whole episode on that. So
I'm into
upcoming
that.
episode. I
I'm
like
into
it.
that.
I like it. And you know what? It's actually a great topic for December because I don't know about all y'all, but my attire changes for holiday parties than it does at weddings.
Really?
I said all y'all. I'm down south, so I'm trying to adapt.
Wow, bro.
So yeah, I think it'll be a good topic.
Why? Give me a quick example of that. I'm sorry.
I will often add a splash of red for a holiday party. I have a very cheesy, I'm sure some of you would find, red jacket that I've often broken out for holiday parties.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the time to be festive, and I think I don't wear like a light up tie or anything.
No,
but
right,
I think
right.
it's nice to kind of play to the season. We haven't gotten Nate on. Did you want to come on, or I mean, you're literally closest to the.
He's
all right. I mean, you can stay there. I'm not putting pressure on you, but we only have
recliner.
We only have 5 minutes left. So,
ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Nate Nelson, LaForce Entertainment, straight out of Dallas, Texas.
Fellow Dallas Cowboy fan. Nate and I
Cowboys.
have been to what, 3 games I think together down in AT&T Stadium.
At least 3, and we played one day for like an hour.
That's
and a
right.
half.
We were at the Dez Pinky game where we almost won that game, but we were also at that epic game where we came back and Glenn's
Big Daddy
wife
was there. We have a great picture.
Glenn's wife Jen got the greatest photo of us. Literally, it was going to be the last. And I asked her why she took it later because she had to have the camera on us, and it made sense. She said, "Look, I knew either way it was the last play of the game, so I was either going to get you guys celebrating or crying." And so there's 4 of us because Ed's in it too, and we're all like literally losing our mind. The Cowboys just won on the last play of the game, and in the middle of us is Big Daddy with the most shocked like. And I think the Giants had like a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter in that game, and he.
Well, I think they had scored at
happen?
the end of the game, and then we had Romo Magic,
right,
and we came down and scored, and it was just.
So anyway, Nate Nelson, fellow Cowboy fan,
who,
by the way, you probably can't tell the way he's dressed, is melting away. Nate has lost 80 pounds in how long?
Started my journey on August 12th.
Unbelievable,
so
man. You look.
I don't even know what the day count is now, but
yeah.
Something like that.
It's fallen off him.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
For
dude.
sure.
Really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, so we had this conversation. I don't want to put this out publicly so everybody can know.
All right.
And I think we had conversations last night as well, but the Cowboys are not going to get 40 points scored on them tomorrow.
Yeah, that's we disagree. I think the Saints will lay I think it's 41-10 tomorrow. Well, maybe 41-17. We'll get a garbage touchdown.
You're talking about the NFL leading rusher.
Who,
like
in
the
Zeke?
Saints, yeah.
Yeah, they'll shut it. They'll shut down our rush.
Shut it
early
down.
on. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
not optimistic.
Right.
We've won 3 in a row. We're tied for first place.
I don't think we're going to
The
win. I
Cowboys
didn't
get
say that we were
spanked
going to
tomorrow
win.
night. And I'm not rooting for that, but I'm predicting.
But they're not
the
going to
worst.
score 40.
All right, so what are we betting?
We want to bet that.
Yeah.
We're
Over
betting
under.
together on our team. All right. Dinner in Vegas.
Dinner in Vegas. If
But-
the Saints lay 40 on the Cowboys,
Right.
So even
That's
if the Cowboys win, the Cowboys could win 45-42. I still win the bet.
Yeah, because they scored 40
So
points.
you think just
over under 40?
We're going over
I'm
under
saying
on the
under.
Saints
You're
score.
saying 40 or over.
I'm
Yeah.
going over.
For
Dinner
sure.
in Vegas. You heard it.
Yeah, or you
So-
could buy me a pair of J's.
Half off Vibo and dinner in Vegas. That's what we've learned.
How
in
about
this
let's
whole-
change the bet?
And the wobble sucks.
You buy me a pair of J's, and I'll buy you a new scarf.
Dude, how much
Scarves
are the
can be
J's?
with the pins. 200.
Dude, I'm looking at a John Barbados scarf. It was $270. I'm waiting for it to come down a little bit.
I'm in.
So,
You do
all
that.
right. J's versus
a scarf. No
Great.
more. No
I'm
steak
in.
dinner's about the same,
Fuck,
right?
Fuck dinner. Oh, sorry, John. So, shit.
Hey, my
I
bad.
just,
I'm
I
up.
just
I'm out.
apologize for the F word with the S word. Sorry, John. I love you.
Y'all give it up for Nate Nelson.
John, how long have I written for you, John Young? I can't hear you, so just show numbers.
Yeah, I think
Has it been 15 years?
2004 you started.
2000 and what?
2004.
Wow. 14
15,
years
almost 15.
writing for the Disc Jockey News. John, thank you. You have helped me tremendously basically expand my reach in the industry. So thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. I don't think I've been writing nearly that long.
No.
So does anybody have a question for us? Business, personal, podcast related? I feel like we've kind of asked you guys questions. Does anybody else want to come on? I know the timer's ticking down, but we still can go past 10 as long as we.
That's our second 10 reference.
Where's Drew? Drew, you want to get on? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, straight out of Long Beach, California, the one, the only, Drew Pierce, everybody. My man. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How's it
How are
going?
you? It's going, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Lost my voice.
So did I.
I can actually talk today first.
Yeah.
So
it came back. It came back.
Yeah.
So we've had a good time. You and I had a great chat yesterday,
yeah,
right?
we had an awesome chat.
I got a whole list of things that I'm helping you with, and you're going to help me with. Have you enjoyed this experience?
Deleting iTunes was the first thing.
Look, move number one when I left last year was deleting iTunes and moving all of my crates to Serato. So I appreciate that. That
has it changed your
absolutely
life?
Changed my whole. It's changed the way the computer opens, performs, and everything. When I switched over to this, I have it on there, but I never use it. So thank you for that tip. This guy is unbelievably organized and an awesome DJ in his own right. Tell us real quick, just like your experience, because you came last year. Last year was the first year you and I had ever even met each other.
Yeah, I actually didn't know most of the people here.
How did you know Brian? Like, how did you end up with us?
I didn't know Brian. Actually, Jason, we had been kind of communicating online back and forth. Had a lot of stuff in common. I do a lot of corporates and private events.
And edits and music, and tell them about your.
Yeah, I work for DMS. I've been doing edits for a long time. Use Ableton, categorize, and do all kinds of stuff. And basically, we'd just been chatting, and he kind of threw my name out. And to be honest, I didn't really know anybody, so I was like, "Yeah, I want to go to Austin. That sounds fun. I've never been."
That's right. So we were in Austin last year, right?
But yeah, that was kind of the extent of it, and I learned so much, and just made so many great friendships. So I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, man. I think we had everybody back other than Jason that was not feeling well, and Tony from Hawaii. Oh, and Jeff, right? But Chris is here from the company, so I feel like we still retain that. So we got almost everybody back and added a few people, and honestly, man, it's been a great experience, Mike. I mean, as your first year, yeah, you loved it. I've loved it. Brian did an unbelievable job of planning things and bringing people in. And honestly, man, like I couldn't be more proud of all the work you did. I know that there are a lot of people in here that contributed and helped, man, but nobody could have pulled it off. You and Sean, like all the things y'all done are just like next level. You thought of everything. And so I can't wait. We've still got a day today and then a little excursion later. And then I'm going to go fishing tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited. Anything else you want to add?
No, someone
Joe?
told me to come up, so I don't know.
Hey, Joe, some people in the chat room are asking about the deleting of iTunes. If you guys could just give us the little elevator speech of what that's about.
Basically,
don't say it like you said it last year.
My theory behind it is you have iTunes at first was amazing for playlist creations and smart crates, and it was just the first. And that's why Serato even implemented it in the first place, is because everyone had already had their library in it and they were just making it convenient. However, if you wanted to delete something out of Serato, you're in one program. You now have to go back to the other program, delete it out of iTunes, then go back. Now it's showing it's missing in Serato. You have to close it, reopen it it's just unnecessary. There's 2 steps.
He called it a steaming pile of dog turd is what he called it last year. And that
it's become so bloated. It's just a terrible program. And I was a huge fan, and it's bloated.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. And Serato can do everything iTunes does without,
you having to import it into it. Right?
Yeah. So I think everybody's stuck on it because of just being
an Apple
used
guy.
to it at first, and that's where you put your music. But
sure.
If you mainly DJ, sort all your music in Serato.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just efficient. Opens well. Thanks, Drew. Drew Pierce, everybody. Have a seat.
By the way,
Mike.
if you go back to an early episode, we were talking about music organization, and I said that to you. So I don't know why it took him to tell you, because I didn't use the term steaming pile of shit, apparently. But I told you early on, what are you using two systems for? It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
Go back to one of our earliest episodes.
That's true. I'm
Rewind.
sorry.
I'm glad we saved these.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These are archived for history. So, any last minute questions, anecdotes? Anybody else want to hop on before we wrap this episode? Hey, I'm proud of us. I know we used to do that. Hey, real talk.
100
real talk,
episode, man. 100 is
no. I mean, honestly, like I'm not a podcast listener, but like as we were creeping into the 90s, people started like pinging me, messaging me, yo. 100's a big deal, man. 100's a big deal.
Pat you on the
Thanks,
back.
man. And I remember, like when we first started, we would be like, "Hey, welcome to episode number 10."
And
you were
finally, I was like, "Can we stop counting?" Because first of all, every week we'd get on and we would have to look up what was last week's number.
That's
I'm like,
true.
"Can we just stop counting? It doesn't
That's
really.
true.
Who cares?"
And then,
but yes, this is significant. 100. Even though we doubled up 2 weeks in a row just to get to 100, and then Joe forgot to promote while I was away. So 98 probably has 9 listens, and
it was
one is my mom.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's okay. But dude, honestly, man,
I'm proud of us too. That sounds kind of vain, but yeah, getting to 100.
Man, let's keep it going. I hope you guys keep listening. I hope we get thousands more listeners. There's a lot of DJs on DJ Idea Sharing
and we have
listen.
plenty of room in our workshop in March. So people in here and people listening, if you haven't signed up yet, get your passes for Mobile Beat. And then get on PHDJworkshop.com and help us fill that in.
Hey, one more last plug. Hit them with the book stuff.
Oh my God,
Come
the
on.
book has been out now 3 weeks, and John Young officially purchased. And I can't believe I didn't send you a free one, John. I'm sorry, but when it first went for sale, John Young bought the first one. I've sold a lot. I'm really happy. But if you haven't picked it up yet, please do. I'm loving the feedback I'm getting. If you have picked it up, please review it on Amazon. It would help me out tremendously.
Great Christmas gift.
Great Christmas gift for the music lover on your Christmas.
So tell them the title.
On This Date in Music, which if you search Amazon, you'll find that. Or go to the website On This Date in Music, and I will personally autograph it and personalize it for you. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yep.
Whoa.
Thank you.
So thank you guys.
No,
everybody.
I'm not giving 50% off.
No.
Buy the book and get 50% off Vibo.
For 24 hours.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for listening. John, thank you for letting us use this platform to have our live version of the podcast. Any last words, Mike?
That's it, man. Everybody safe travels home.
Yes.
And
Thank
here.
you guys all.
Yes.
Thanks for listening,
Thank you.
guys. 100 and beyond. Peace.